Did you know every time you listen to the Streakers Island podcast, 1 second is added to your life?
Oh.
Did you know that, Lane?
It is. Wow. Then I would be gonna live forever.
You're gonna live forever. Even though I may sound sick, that's just because we have a sick show for everyone today. And of course, I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. More for Your Money,
Woo!
who's always on that damn cell phone, damn millennials, and Mr. Lane Dashing Dashco.
That's me.
Are you a millennial, Lane, or are you a Gen Z?
I'm not. I don't decide. I don't live to like. I'm Lane Dashko. That's what I am.
You're Lane Dashco.
So,
So
answer.
I'm in my own rank.
we may have less topics to talk about today, but we have some biggies. The CFL put out a very cryptic message that there's an announcement today at 1 o'clock.
It's the end
we're
of
gonna
the
find
world.
out. We're going to talk about what that could be. We're going to talk about NFL Sunday, the good, the bad, and the dumb. Leafs talk, because NHL preseason started, so now we can start speculating about the Leafs again. That's always fun. And, of course, the Blue Jays have another series coming up. They've clinched a playoff spot, but is it time to celebrate? That's an interesting point that we can get into. But let's get right into the CFL announcement. And Lane, you talked about it off camera. You were kind of surprised how much Twitter attention this was getting.
Well, yeah, like it's just like, for example, like it's just so. Of course, the CFL, for those who don't know, and I'm sure everyone who does know, the CFL put out a cryptic announcement that the sky is falling and that everyone should go into their nuclear bunkers and hide forever. But no, I just don't get it. Like we don't like nobody knows what's going on yet. Like all they said were game changes are coming. We have an announcement tomorrow, and it's like everyone and their mother is tweeting about how, oh, the CFL is blowing up. Oh, this is it. Oh, it's the NFL. Oh, the NFL is coming. Oh, no, it's the game. This is the end of the game that we love. It's like, you don't even know what the announcement is yet. That's just like yoga classes. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's wait to see what the announcement is first. If it's something bad, then let's come back and collectively be mad. But until you know what the announcement is, let's all take a chill pill.
Well, because all he said is the commissioner said that there's a press conference that will be held on Monday, September 22nd at 1 p.m. to make what the league's own media team termed a major announcement regarding significant changes to the game. It remains unclear what the changes are. This is straight from Third Down Nation. However, and I think it's tweets like this from Mr. Rod Pedersen that is kind of sparking the concern. I'm being told to prepare for Americanization for the CFL game beginning in 2026. This was the first tweet I saw that made everyone hit the panic button. No disrespect to Mr. Rod Pedersen. He said
you're a nice guy.
He said the league was going to go to 4-down football, I think 6 years ago.
He
said that there was going to be American expansion back in the Ambrosio era. I mean, from what I understand, you cannot make major changes to the rules themselves until the offseason when the rules have been put together in front of a committee.
Right.
I am more thinking it's going to have to do with off-field adjustments. So if I had to make a guess, I'm thinking no more ratio between Canadian and American and globalized players, best players on the field. That's what I'm thinking. I also think the coach cap gone because I think it's hurting the league not being able to have enough coordinators. And if we're talking rule changes, I think they have to walk a fine line between staying a Canadian game. I think if they go 4 downs, I honestly think it would be a real struggle for the CFL, and I don't think that's the right approach. I think they should look at the XFL and the UFL. It's not working. Some people have rumored about the kickoff. Look, to be blunt, I wouldn't like it if they went to the NFL, XFL kickoff. However, there are less injuries. Same with the goalposts. That could maybe be moved, but I don't think we're going to see 11 versus 11 or 4-down football. I would be really surprised if either one of those came to fruition.
To be honest, between the three of us, I think the big thing that I think this is all going to be, I think this is going to be evolved around the FIFA World Cup, right? There's a lot of issues with the start date, this whole interfering with games. Maybe they just we're moving the season up a few weeks and we're going to take a month off because just to avoid or if there's any confrontation between these games, we're just going to take this time off and we're going to start a bit earlier or start a bit later and finish a bit later.
When is the World Cup again, Lane?
I could get the exact dates, but
how do you not know the exact date when I didn't put it in the script for you to know? How dare you? Dan, when does the World Cup start? Do you have any clue?
I'm getting it. I got it.
It's like kind of the halfway point of the CFL season. So I'm guessing around like July, August area. I think it's in the summer.
June 11th to July 19th now, but how many of those? Close. But how many of those games are actually in Canada?
Well, here's the whole other thing. There's been rumors that the World Cup doesn't want to go to the States. And again, we don't get political on the island, but between, I'm just going to say it, the recent assassination, the things that are going on with ICE, there are a lot of people that are not comfortable going to America right now. And again, we're not going to get into if that's good or bad or whatever. Well, obviously assassinations are bad, but like it is what it is kind of thing. But I'm just wondering, maybe Lane, I'm starting to lean more towards what you're saying. It could be more just scheduling, which is a major announcement. What are your thoughts, Dan? Like, are you hitting the panic button? I'm seeing a lot of panic.
Absolutely,
Lane just shrugging his shoulders. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm uneasy just because.
I'll be honest. I don't really care. I mean, if anything that's going to happen is going to affect next season, it's not going to affect this season anyway. Number one. Number two, but it's just, and I don't blame them. I think it's kind of a publicity stunt to try to get the CFL some attention right before playoffs, right? I mean, obvious people like Mr. Wilson question how much people care about the league. Well, if Twitter's blown up over a little retweet like this, it's obviously that people do care about it. Just because you don't see the butts in some seats and some arenas don't mean that people don't care, you know? And I think the other thing is, like Jacob says, we can't get politically here on this show, unfortunately. But I think this is playing a more major effect this year than other years because of the tension between the borders. You know, I think it was any other year, no one would really care if, you know, the CFL became a little Americanized or whatever. But now everyone, you know, feels the way that they feel and they have pride in the country. So it's kind of showing pride in CFL is like showing pride in Canada, right? So,
well, that's the thing, right? And I think the big topic today from people that I've seen, a lot of people, Luke Wilson sort of tweeted about it, and other people have, is that, you know, there's kind of a big debate that a lot of the CFL fans are kind of diehard. Like, they don't want any improvement. They don't want anything. There's a lot of people that sit in, as Milt Stegall put it, the CFL is perfect seats. There's a lot of people that will defend the CFL and say, like, oh, there's no changes. Is that true, or like, do you think like people like, I know changes suck, but are there changes that they'll make it originally?
I think people are okay with some changes. Like, for example, I'm a huge CFL fan. I think everyone knows that. However, I'm not saying the league is perfect, right? I think like, for example, I think getting rid of the ratio would make the league better. I think the ratio and coach caps hurt the CFL. But like looking on Twitter here, Milt Stegall tweeted out, Commissioner Johnson about to shake things up. Excited to see what's coming. If you're in the CFL's perfect don't touch it club, maybe this one's not for you.
This is what However,
but I mean, that's not me thinking that they're going to keep the league exactly the way it is. I think if Milt Stegall had insider, they're going to go to 4 downs and completely Americanize it. I don't think he'd be singing a positive spin on it, right?
For all we know, maybe they're going to raise the salary cap a little bit. In recent years, the CFL is spending more money for recovering from the COVID years. You know, the Argos are still low in ticket sales, but other cities are selling a lot of tickets. You know, you look at the BC Lions, all the money that owner is putting into it, right? I'm sure he would want to spend more money. You know, you got the owner of Edmonton is a new, excited owner. Maybe he wants to spend a little bit more money, right? Maybe this is an announcement of a 10th team finally coming. Maybe this is an announcement of a new TV deal. Maybe that's why TSN's walking the boat with it. You know, there could be a million different things. Everyone's just hitting panic button for no apparent reason.
Well, I think the main reason why everyone's hitting the panic button, and I did bring this up previously on the podcast, and Jacob went, ooh, shrugged his shoulders at me. But you have to admit, it does look funny that 2 weeks ago, MLSE and the Buffalo Bills were like, we're best friends now.
Yeah,
And
that's
now,
true too.
and now it's like, oh, we're making changes. That it just looks it's weird timing. I'm not saying that was going to happen.
Thing is,
I
though, the
don't.
CFL wasn't even involved in that MLSC deal.
I don't think these changes can be happening in 2 weeks. I think these changes have been in place for a long time. When the new commissioner came in, he said he was going to make changes right from day one. He didn't hide that or deny that from anybody, right? And the CFL was, as a league, was not open to changes. They would have not given this gentleman the job, because I'm sure we put in his interview and his resume that he wants to make changes A, B, C, and D, and for reasons 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So, I don't think this guy is stupid. I think for whatever reason, he's going to make some changes. And, you look at all the other leagues. Hockey has made major changes over the year with the salary cap and no icing and 2-lane passes and the trapezoid for goalies. You look at baseball making changes with the pitch clock and stuff like that. I mean, the NFL has made plenty of changes, right? So all the other major leagues, well, maybe not basketball. Basketball lengthened the shorts, thank goodness for that. We don't want to see, big, tall booty over the time. We need long shorts, right? But, there's been a lot of, the leagues have been making a lot of different changes. So maybe this is just the CFL, making some changes like the other major leagues. And the other major leagues didn't hit the panic button.
But Dan, I think though the CFL, it's because the fans that follow it, there's a cult following, and that's why. But I'm just kind of skimming through Twitter right now, and there are no, besides of Rod Pedersen, there are no real credible sources. I personally think, and no disrespect, and I don't blame him either. I think maybe he's heard that from a source, but I'm not seeing it from seeing it from Dave Naylor. I'm not seeing it from Milt Stiegel. I'm not seeing it from Chris Schultz.
Now, who's Jim Mullen? Like, that's what I want to know. Who's Jim Mullen?
I've heard the name, but he's not like a huge.
He's the one. Well, he's the one that I saw with his tweet of, "What changes are you ready for? Season start, end, downs, field size, numbers of players on the field. A Sunday release of the Monday presser ensures that the message is not trivial." So that's what I saw was really starting to get fans going.
Well, I don't know. Time will tell. I just don't want to hit the panic button yet.
Maybe he'll kick a soccer ball instead of football. Who knows?
Oh, no, Dan, I don't think we should take it trivial. Like, I think it's a legitimate conversation. But I think it's one that, like...
Honestly, I think we're kind of wasting time until we see the big announcement tomorrow. And it's not us wasting time as a podcast. We talk about the news as in the sports world. And this hit the news today because, well, there's no CFL games going on, right? So, we have a report for news, and that's what we're doing. But I'm with Dasco on this. Until we hear the official announcement tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Today at 1 p.m., not tomorrow. Remember, people are listening.
Today, whatever. I mean, only days, one going together. Until that announcement happens, we're just
I'll be watching, though.
Look, I'm just going to say, I don't think we're going to see major 4 downs, smaller fields, that sort of announcements. I could be wrong. I will be honest, I really hope I'm not, because I really do not want to see 4-down football in Canada. I'm just being honest.
That would be horrible.
I honestly think we can't use the S word, but it would be ooh-eyed to the CFL, we'll say, if they go 4-down football. Because I think you would lose a lot of fans because they don't want Americanized. We've seen it in the XFL. Putting out, and no disrespect to CFL players, but I mean, let's be honest, that a lot of them are not quite as good as NFL guys. If they were as good or better, they'd be in the NFL because it pays more. And you don't want to see a bit less skill playing the same rules. It's like watching the Marlies. Would you want to see the Marlies or the Leafs? Well, right? And that's where I'm at.
Well, here's the one thing that scares me. And again, I remember you saying that won't happen. But what's really scaring me, I think here's the one thing that does kind of terrify me, is the one thing that the CFL could do with this whole merger, and we kind of touched about it when that announcement happened, was, if every team got an AHL to an NFL system, if they made the rules similar, then they could kind of float, a Nathan Work up, or if there's a player who's not cutting it in the NFL, then come to CFL.
I think that'd be kind of interesting.
No, number one, it'd be terrible. Number two, it won't happen because that's basically what the XFL is. You already have that.
I know.
The CFL's more successful.
I get it's more successful, but the XFL is already in America, closer to NFL cities. You don't have to cross the border, which, let's be honest, is getting harder and harder to do all the time. I don't see that happening. I honestly don't think. I think this could be about a TV deal more. Maybe
That's
it's
what
going to be
I'm saying. A
along those
TV
lines. But
deal, ways a cap, a 10th team. I think there's more. Maybe we're going to do another version of like Touchdown Atlantic or Touchdown Vancouver Island, right? Maybe there's going to be a Touchdown Quebec City. Who knows? I don't see them. If they're going to change all the rules, like we'll have a talk to the player committee too, right? And like you're not going to do that overnight. You're not going to do that mid-season, right before the playoffs. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
For all we know, this could be coming out saying, look, we're looking into all these changes, no options are on the table, which we've already heard that same song and dance before. But I want to move on, and I want to get into,
thank you.
Obviously, the CFL last week, had some games, let's be honest. They weren't the best games, but either way, we got to go over our Canadian Football League Power Rankings. And when we take a look at our Power Rankings here, Hamilton Tiger Cats still at 1.
Oh,
Saskatchewan Roughriders 2. Montreal Alouettes. Oh, sorry, BC Lions 3.
Sorry, I on the list.
Montreal Alouettes 4. Calgary Stampeders 5.
Really?
Argonauts 6. Winnipeg Blue Bombers 7. I'll explain Toronto and Winnipeg in a minute. Edmonton Elks 8. Ottawa Red Blacks 9th.
I'm sorry, but why on earth is Calgary number 5?
Because they played 2 back-to-back terrible games.
They've been bad.
They should be lower.
I can't put them lower than Toronto, who lost, Winnipeg that completed 3 passes, Edmonton who lost, and Ottawa that lost to a team that completed 3 passes.
3 passes or not, they won the game, unlike Calgary.
I don't care.
No?
Okay.
Honestly, no. I look at Winnipeg. If they played any other team besides Calgary, they would have got their ass kicked.
Dude, that was terrible. Calgary.
It was terrible. It was the worst CFL game I've watched in years.
Yeah, literally.
And that game against any other team, they would have got their ass kicked.
I will say one thing. I wouldn't be opposed if you put the Argos above Calgary, just because I actually think, you can say whatever you want, but I think at least the Argos, you can give them credit. They actually played a lot better.
They did.
They had a third-string quarterback, and they almost won that game. I would make the argument to put Toronto better Calgary right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Funny enough, I figured the flack I was going to get was putting Toronto ahead of Winnipeg, which I think that's the flack Dan's giving me.
Not really. I mean, I get Winnipeg played a really bad game. I would put Calgary 7, and I would put
Toronto, Winnipeg, then Calgary?
Yeah, Toronto gone 5th, Winnipeg 6th, Calgary 7th. I know it might not make any sense, but that's the order I would put it in. The rest of the order makes sense to me. I think Ottawa and Edmonton are eliminated at this point, so putting them at the bottom makes sense. Winnipeg's a 500 club, but they barely 500. Calgary has really fallen apart the last 2 weeks with extreme drama.
BC and Winnipeg only 2 points behind them now.
Calgary's Toronto, like Lane said, it's got a lot of injuries. BC, as much as I don't like them, and I don't think it's going to last, they're climbing up the rankings nicely. And Montreal, kind of the same thing. Even though they should have not won that game, they found a way to win last week. So, in Hamilton, the Rough Riders didn't even play, but I mean, for the best record in the league, I get it. In Hamilton,
I guess Montreal.
They look really good. It looks like it's 1999, quite possibly, So I get the rest of the list. I just don't get the middle at all.
Well, I'm looking at it here, and I'm kind of just looking at the way teams are playing right now. I think basically now the playoff race came down to 3 teams fighting for 2 playoff spots, which is Winnipeg, BC, and Toronto. I think Edmonton and Ottawa, even Toronto, I'm only giving them maybe a 30% chance at best, depending if Nick Arbuckle's
really generous.
Which we'll know if Nick Arbuckle. We'll know more by this afternoon about Nick Arbuckle and what's going on. The Argos practice Monday at 1:00. We'll see if he's taking reps.
So maybe one of the rule changes is, and they'll make it mid-season, it's now golf, so the lower points, which would put Toronto in the playoffs.
So actually, that
could
is
be
one thing I
interesting
forgot to
thing.
mention of what I think
But
possibly
the
it could be.
crossover.
I think they're going to get rid of, if anything, I wonder if they're going to get rid of divisions. And it's
Yeah.
just going to be the top 6 teams make the playoffs. If with a
That would actually
9-team
be a
league,
good
having
idea.
East versus West doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No, it really doesn't.
Could you-
Then,
Like, it makes sense for having it just for travel purposes, but maybe we need more, like, just the top, which I mean, Toronto still wouldn't be making the playoffs.
even travel purposes, we all kind of play each other. What, the East teams play each other 3 times versus West and East play each other 2 times? Like, it's all pretty well the same.
But all I mean is you might see more of that, right?
It's not like it's an 82 game schedule like hockey.
But I do wonder if
Before.
maybe, I meant to mention that during our talk on the potential rule changes, but I wonder if maybe that's what's coming up is
Are we getting rid
the,
of the Rouge?
well, that's one that a lot of people are calling for. I like the Rouge, but I could see why they change it.
I kind of like it because you gotta kick the ball so far, right? You should get something for kicking it
Okay,
back.
but I will be honest, getting a point for missing a field goal kind of feels like a participation award.
Okay, maybe not that part, but
So maybe you just make it where, again, not respectfully again, but maybe you just make the Rouge, it only counts if for kickoffs and punts, maybe not for missed field goals. But right now, when we take a look at our standings, is if you want to hear more about those games, we did a really good live show on Sunday on our Facebook.
yeah. Gotta thank our listeners. We had over 130 people listen to us live on Facebook this week on Sunday, which was awesome. We had listeners from Twitch, from Norway, so the island's hitting international now. We're getting great comments on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So if you want to join our live shows, there's 3 ways for you to do it. So come on down, everyone. So good job.
Exactly.
Man,
But when we look at these
points to-
standings, this is why I talk about Calgary potentially could be jumping down. I know they have a game in hand over
I
Winnipeg,
get it.
BC, but it's still a possibility, right? So we could be seeing Calgary potentially coming down the 3rd. And the reason why I still think Toronto might have a shot is just because I still don't have a lot of faith in this Blue Bomber team. I think if you're going to have a faith in the Blue Bomber team just based on the sure fact that they've won championships, you could say the identical thing about Toronto, that they're a team that's won championships. And then when we look at the East...
But you're not getting what I'm saying, Jay. I'm not saying because of championships. I'm saying it because they're hosting the Grey Cup. If Toronto is hosting
that
the
literally
Grey Cup,
doesn't matter. No one has won a Grey Cup recently at home. The last
it's
one...
just my gut feeling, bud. If Toronto was hosting the Grey Cup this year, I would say the same thing about Toronto instead of Winnipeg.
But when we look at the East standings here, Hamilton's really starting to pull away. I don't see Montreal catching them, especially not Toronto. Like, I think Hamilton's going to take first. I do think Montreal's going to hold on to second. I think third between Toronto, Winnipeg, and BC is the question mark.
And I just want to point out here, can you go back up there for a second, Mr. Jacob? Because, like, wow, look at this. I didn't realize this until I just seen it now, but the fact that the BC Lions have almost like, what is it, like 67 more points than like first place and like 87 more than second. Like, I know their defense is bad, but man, that offense is crazy.
It'll just be interesting to see if in the playoffs can the defense be good enough. Because if you look, like, yeah, the BC Lions are the highest scoring team in the CFL. Then second is the Hamilton Tiger Cats with 420 saw, dude. And then, funny enough, third is actually the Toronto Argonauts.
But it's
so look at Ottawa is only 1 point behind Toronto.
The scary thing is their point differential is only 22.
No, I know, but
yeah,
it's crazy. They're wild, man.
But when we look at those standings, it is interesting. If we went to a different, like a 1 versus 6 instead of the division, so we'd have Saskatchewan, Hamilton getting the 2 teams with bye still as they'd finish first and second. Then you would have Calgary third, Winnipeg fourth, BC fifth, Montreal sixth.
Really, eh?
So Montreal's funny enough, could be potentially the same order as what we have.
No, because Montreal being last.
Montreal, but it means we could be still getting the same amount of teams.
Oh yeah.
Well, it'd be a 3-way tie between 4th and 6th. Then we'll come down to season. But I guess what it would be is then you're more out for, like, let's say BC wins season series, they would get the home game versus Montreal, and maybe that'd be better. But look, again, I won't want to speculate about that anymore, but just I thought we should mention that for playoffs. And if you want more on those games, Again, we did an awesome live show on Sunday. Make
And
sure
you
you
can
check
still
that.
watch the show even though it's not live. You can't comment on it, but you can still watch it. Like
You can
now
comment.
we're almost up
Well, you
to
can
200
comment. You just
views.
comments won't come live on the screen.
Yeah, so
But you
that's
can
what I
still
meant.
put in your comments for people to see later on. But
Right.
I want to get into some NFL. And who had on their bingo card that Daniel Jones would take the Colts to
196
3-0 while being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
That was nuts.
He's playing unbelievable.
He's revitalized his career. We
Well,
all owe him an apology.
We all
a
do.
viewer,
Any dimes, bro.
a viewer of the show and friend of the show, and comment on YouTube, Mr. Gabe there. He is a Colts fan, so he was very happy with Mr. Jones.
Like, I don't get. Like, I don't know what they did. What does that say about the New York Giants at this point? Like, this guy's a gem, and everyone thought this guy sucked. And apparently he's amazing.
I mean, okay, Giants again. They lost against KC tonight, right? I guess KC got a couple touchdowns by the look of it. Got a little more interesting. I'll be honest, I left after
that game was
first,
boring.
second quarter. I was bored, right? I'm going to get some work done. But the score did end up 22-9. When I left, it was 9-6 in my defense.
Well, in perspective, KC basically put together one good drive, and that's all they needed. But Daniel Jones, just as an FYI, is currently sitting third in passing yards in the NFL.
Insane. Now,
he's also averaging the most yards per play at 9.3 yards per play, and he's completing over 71% of his passing yards. He's got an efficiency rating of 111.7. Like right now, he is playing absolutely incredible. And I think we saw Russell Wilson go back to reality because he looked pretty bad against the Chiefs.
He did, yeah.
But I will say, I don't know, since Dan, I know you didn't catch toward the second half of that game, but I do wonder if maybe that Thornton in the Chiefs, maybe they have found a guy that can at least make some plays on the receiving core between him and Hollywood Brown. Maybe that can be enough until Travis Kelce stops thinking about napkins.
Well, I think Travis Kelce, I think he's kind of overstayed his welcome. I mean, let's be honest there. The last couple of years, people have been debating if he should retire or not. And he did play well, made a Super Bowl, won Super Bowls, blah, blah, blah. But now you got the whole wedding and everything. He's more focused, in my opinion, and same with kind of Mahomes and KC, to be honest. They're more focused on being celebrities and football players.
No, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just like, you got to imagine they lost Worthy. They don't have Rice. When those two come back, we talked about it before the season started. All they have to do is stay competitive until they get those two back. And
that's a good point.
But let's be honest. The Chiefs play the Ravens next, so they're gonna get slaughtered by the Ravens if the way they played against the Giants.
The Ravens haven't been that great either.
You're gonna get slaughtered by the Ravens. Chiefs are gonna drop to 1-3. I think already we could the way the Chargers are playing, the Chiefs are gonna have a hard time catching the Chargers already, who are 3-0. But I would say the most interesting game on Sunday was definitely the Eagles versus the Rams.
Oh,
yeah. The Rams are going to look back at this game and cry. They were
a crazy game. That was a game of the week for sure.
In the second half, and they completely crapped the bed. They Amber Hearded themselves.
Yeah.
It was absolutely brutal. 2 blocked field goals, and especially the one that sealed the deal. Like the Rams,
have you seen that in one game before? 2 blocks in one game.
Crazy.
I've seen it in the CFL, not really. And we actually saw it in a Grey Cup game where the Argos beat the Blue Bombers by 2 points. But
I got a block. Did we get 2 blocks?
Yep.
I forgot.
Boris Beatty's kick got blocked, and then Robbie Smith blocked Castillo's kick.
Oh, I mean 2 with the same team.
Oh no, but you said same game, so get wrecked.
Well,
was that at the Rogers? Was that at the Rogers Dome?
No,
that was at Mosaic.
Yes, that's one. Yeah. Wamba took off his shirt. He said, "We ain't cold."
Yes, Dan loves it when men take off their shirts. It's his hobby.
No, this is why we number. He's a good-looking dude. Nice guy too. I met him. Very.
But
nice.
I'm curious. I want to ask you guys: after 3 weeks of football, who do you think is the best team in the NFL right now?
Bills, 100%.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
Okay, I agree with Bills, but I'm going to throw out one that I think you guys are probably going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to throw it out anyways.
The Colts?
Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah.
Another 3-0 team. Baker Mayfield has put together three last-minute clinching game-winning drives. I think this Bucs team is much better than people think they are, and I think they could be scary.
I can see that. Yep.
Now, the big issue is how long will Mike Evans be out? He injured his hamstring this week.
Yeah, that's bad.
Right.
But I've been really impressed with the Bucs.
And the Eagles.
But the Eagles, I don't know. There's something about the way they're winning their games I don't love.
Yeah, but the way Brown was playing yesterday, holy cow.
Well, I will say one thing. I don't know if you guys watched today, but man, I don't know. I don't know if it's a coaching decision. But don't you feel like the Vikings are kind of Edmonton out themselves? Like, come on, Carson Wentz went in and made that team good. I'm like, yeah, why isn't he playing?
Well, you see, and this is the exact argument I've had to people about Dart not playing over Russell Wilson. I don't like rookie quarterbacks starting their first year in professional football.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need a year behind a backup. Look how, as much as Jordan Love was terrible this week, look how good Jordan Love has been.
I can't believe they lost today. Wow.
To the Browns.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
But look at that. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He only played like one series his rookie year.
Why is Kirk Cousins not playing? Did he retire or something?
No, he's a backup. I don't remember where, but
I think he's in Atlanta, but I could be wrong.
I just think with JJ McCarthy, I think he needs to just watch some games because he's really struggled. But the Vikings, with all these struggles, they're still 2-1, and they're tied with the Packers, who had a surprising loss this week.
Yeah.
So I mean, things are wide open in the NFL, especially in the NF North. I mean, the Bears destroying the Cowboys, put the Cowboys in a tough predicament, now dropping to 1-2.
Too.
The Cowboys, it sounds weird, they're already in tough with the Eagles and the Commanders in their in their division.
That's a tough division too. Everyone goes on but the Buffalo division, but that Cowboys division.
Well, the Buffalo division, I'm sorry, this year it's easy. Like the Bills are 3-0. Patriots are the only team in that division to have won a game so far.
I mean, in years past, right?
And the Bills, too, you look like 102 points for only 71 against. They haven't even turned the ball over yet this year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the Bills only have one turnover in the last, 15 games.
I know.
Insane.
And, we saw the Steelers get another win, so they're tied with the Bengals first in the AFC North. Okay, Dan, that win was not because of Aaron Rodgers. It was more because the defense stepped up. Aaron Rodgers was terrible that game.
I don't care who was, credit for it.
Did you see what they did? They had the first down, and the guy on 4th and 1 they had it, and they ran backwards.
Yes.
I don't know what
like, I'm not being awful, but you almost lost to the Patriots, who are not a good football team. And Aaron Rodgers finished 16 for 23, 139, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Versus Drake May finished 28 for 37, 268, 2 touchdowns and a pick. I'm being honest, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is much of an improvement from Russell Wilson. I really don't. The Steelers will make the playoffs because it's Mike Tomlin, but when people thinking that Aaron Rodgers is going to make them a Super Bowl contender, I still think they're delusional.
Yeah. They're not going to beat Josh Allen. Come on.
They're not going to beat Josh Allen. They're not going to beat Lamar Jackson. They're not going to much as the Chiefs have struggled, I still think if the Chiefs can hover around 500 until they get their receivers back.
Right, yeah.
Because luckily for the Chiefs, you look at besides of the Chargers, the Raiders and the Broncos are both really struggling. So I'm surprised how crappy the Broncos have looked so far.
Yeah, I know, it's a shocker.
But overall, the Colts have been. I want to ask you guys then, what's your biggest surprise so far after 3 weeks? For me, it's got to be the Colts.
Yeah, I would say the Colts too. I mean, no one thought Daniel Jones was that good. Right now, like you said, now I got to look at how bad the New York Giants are, right? Because Russell Wilson, who was, I would say a serviceable, adequate quarterback in Pittsburgh last year, he put him in the Giants, was still 0-3, right? So, I don't know. Between Jones being really good and Giants being really bad, they're both surprising.
I'm also going to throw it out there. I'm surprised how bad the Texans have been.
Yeah, that's another one.
And how good the Jags have been. That maybe Trevor Lawrence is finally starting to figure it out.
Yeah, that's a shocker, too. I will say I'm surprised how bad Miami is. I thought they would be a little bit better than what they are.
But at the end of the day, NFL season's still super young. But I think it's fair to say the Bills are the best team so far in the league. I don't agree with myself at saying the Bucs, but I'm throwing the Bucs in that conversation. just because of the way. And you know what? I'm going to throw the Chargers in that conversation. Justin Herbert, man, he might be the second best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
I'm putting Josh Allen at 1 just because I feel he could do a bit more than Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert's right behind him right now. I think those are 1A, 1B kind of thing.
Stafford's got to be up there, too.
Matthew Stafford is nowhere near Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. He's a good quarterback.
No, I'm going to say he's got to be a top, Lamar
maybe
Jackson,
a top, like, 15.
Burks,
like a top 15. He's not a top 3.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's top 3.
He's a top 15, maybe top 10, but I wouldn't put him any higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
Lane, you looked very perplexed when I said that. Why? Do you think Matthew Stafford's better than a top 10?
Oh, top 10? I don't know. He's definitely in that conversation.
But I'm saying, like, okay, so let's say Matthew Stafford. I wouldn't put him in top 5. Would you?
No.
Because, like, you got Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. Look, I'm still putting Patrick Mahomes in that conversation, even though I think it's more because of the receiving core. And I can't believe I'm saying this right now. You got to put Daniel Jones in that conversation. I can't believe I'm saying that. And I mean, too, let's be honest. If Joe Burrow didn't get stage 3 turf toe.
Hurst.
Hurst is a top 10 for me.
Like, I think he's tier 2.
He's good. He's very good. He's good enough to win a Super Bowl. He's done it.
I think him and Jared Goff are very comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jared Goff's a bit better.
They're not Super Bowl quarterbacks. So they're not like Super Bowl quarterbacks, but they could win you a Super Bowl with the right team. Where it feels like where we got Allen,
Well, I feel like Josh Allen. You put Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Lamar Jackson in theory on any team, and you become a Super Bowl contender.
100%.
Yeah,
put them on the worst team in the NFL, and they are now a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
Put him on the Giants, and put Josh Allen on the Giants, and they are now a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
No, like, seriously. But let's move on now to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And, of course, preseason started. They won their first preseason game.
Woo!
Yay. Plan the parade. 76-12 bowling parade.
Again, before the season starts, we need a crazy – how many wins at Leafs can get? Because you said the Jays are going to get 90 wins out of 82. How many wins are the Leafs going to get this year? What's your
90? I got to think about this for a second.
You said 98 wins, so how many wins are we getting this year?
Okay, give Jacob, give me like a timer to think here. I gotta look.
We need a timer.
Let's.
Last year, Toronto got 52. Okay, I have a number.
We still have 4 seconds. You gotta wait.
3, 2, 1.
Leafs are getting 48 wins.
What?
I don't think that's out to lunch, actually.
I look at it. They got 52 last year. I think without little unsafe Mitch Marner, for his security guards and stuff, I think we're not going to get as many wins in the regular season because I still don't think that idiot they got from Phoenix.
Marcel, he's not an idiot.
Whatever. So not him, Burst, but you know what I mean. I don't think he's going to be a 100-point guy.
Basically,
I look at it if they're going to get less wins in the regular season, but I think it could be more of a playoff team. So
you're thinking anywhere between 96 to 100 points, depending on how many overtime losses.
Yeah, that's where I put
last year, 108 points.
You look at them, you got to be about 90 points to make a playoff minimum, right? For 84 games in the season now.
82
so
still.
It means to be 500, you would need to be about 42 or 43 wins. I think we're still a little bit better than 500, but I don't think we're going to hit 50 wins this year. I think 48's a nice round number.
Okay, so I'm going to give you I'm going to give you expectations for the Leafs. Low ball, what I actually think, and high. Low ball is 44 wins. I think that's the bare minimum this team would need to get to make the playoffs.
Look at Lane's face.
And I think they are a playoff team still. I think what is realistic, I think is 49. I think there'll be a couple less wins than last year, but I don't think they're going to be, it sounds dumb only saying one more win than what Morforce said, but I think they're going to be just under 50. The top, they overperformed incredible I'm going to call it and say maybe this is a harder team to play against, better defensively, and maybe they win 54 to 55 games.
Like
those are kind of anywhere from 44 is 55 is wowzers. I just made a mess of my trousers. 49 realistic.
Like last year, we hit 52 wins and 108 points. That's one of our best years in franchise history, okay? You look at the only other team that got more wins from him last year was Winnipeg with 56 wins and 116 points. So I really don't see them being as good or better than last year. I really don't. I think we're going to see a bit of a downturn. I don't think we're going to hit the division, but if we make it to the third round, and who cares about the season?
What are you thinking, Lane? Because you've looked kind of perplexed by Dan and I's answers.
I know this is going to be crazy, and I'm going to get the circus book. I'm saying 54 wins.
Whoa!
I think this team's better. I think without the drama, without the security, I'm so scared to go across the street.
With Captain Underpants.
You got to remember, though.
And no head goalie under contract.
Well, that's going to change. I'm pretty sure I heard their Stolarz is pretty much getting signed in preseason from what I've heard. So.
And even if he does, is he really a franchise goalie, debatably? I don't know.
Yes. Well, Dan, here's what I think about that take from you.
And you forget, they finished with all those wins, and Matthews was playing with literally a hernia, like a year-long hernia.
Okay, but look, listen. We almost said last year that Matthews was 100% going in training camp, blah, blah, blah. And then all year he played like crap, but they used it as an excuse.
None of us said that, Dan.
No, but the media did.
No, they didn't. You're lying. You're putting words.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're my problem.
They literally said
Austin Matthews, from the start of last year, said, I feel okay.
Okay, but he said okay. He's reloaded. And he wasn't reloaded. He was terrible.
When you wake up in the morning and you got the best sleep of your life and you feel 1,000% ready to go, you wake up, there's a big paycheck in your bank account, you just won the lottery. Do you say, I feel okay?
Yeah.
No, you don't. That's a lie.
So you feel amazing.
Let's say you wake up and you know what? You're feeling a little bloated. You're uncomfortable, but you're going to get through the day anyways. You would say, I feel okay.
Well, that's before the morning poo-poo.
Well, maybe Austin Matthews couldn't have his poo-poo. Maybe the plumber needed to get in. But my question for you boys.
54 wins. I almost said 53 like Herbie, but that's a little crazy. So
but my question for you boys is, Morgan Rielly running power play 1, better or worse?
Better.
I agree. I actually think it's going to be better because I think the power play will be simplified. I think a simplified power play will improve.
Because here's the thing, right? Like, again, I don't want to. He knows me. He knows he's my mortal enemy, so I'm going to pick on him. Even if he's in Vegas and is playing blackjack, I'm still going to pick on him. Because that guy, man, I swear, the only thing he knew was the pass to I don't think he knew another play in his playbook. That was their power play. Was I got to pass to Matthews because I don't know what to do.
Also, I'm excited to see OEL run the second unit.
Me too.
A guy that
really
has a
like
lot of
that
power
guy.
play success in Florida, who's got a good shot. He's got good hands. He's a good skater. I'm excited to see that. Now, my next question then, because we've already talked about Stolarz. Lane thinks it's going to get done before preseason ends.
I think so.
Dan doesn't think he's even a starting goalie, even though if he stayed healthy, he would have been in the Vezina conversation. I think it'll be done before puck drop of the regular season. But the top line is a huge question, right? So, drum roll, please. Who is playing with Matthews and Knies? Domi, Nylander, or Marcelli?
Domi.
Nylander.
No.
Funny enough, we all have a different take on this. Marcelli.
I think it's Domi.
I think it's Marcelli. I want to see Domi on the second line to create more even lines between the three.
I know, but just
who cares about even lines?
I do.
Look at franchise players.
Look at Florida. Even lines.
Okay, that's like saying 93 Maple Leafs are going to separate Gilmore and Clark. That's like saying the Edmonton Oilers are going to separate Messier and Gretzky.
And hell, maybe
it's like saying going to separate Yager and Lemieux.
Maybe they would have won that series.
Like,
and don't go on about the high stick again because I'm sick and tired of hearing it. You weren't even old enough to understand what was going on.
I was old enough to be alive, and you two weren't. Oh,
So you just called yourself old. That's kind of you know what? This is the Gong Show.
No, the way I look at it is, why would you not put Domi with Matthews? Like, they literally play incredible together. Then you have an incredible second line of Maselli, Nylander.
And Domi does have first line experience when he was a London Knight at Montreal
So does
Canadiens.
Marcelli. He
On Phoenix
had his best year, and that was his best year. Just under.
Dude,
60
I
points.
could get 50 points on Phoenix.
No, you couldn't. You can't skate.
That's my point.
That was the year Arizona almost made the playoffs, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. You just can't admit when you don't have any clue.
I think
you put Marcelli there because you want your second line of Tavares, Nylander, and Domi. You need a checker on that line.
Why do you have a franchise player, the best player in the hockey country of Sweden, and put him on your second line?
Well, then you just said to put him on the second line because you said Domi on the first line.
No, Lane did. I said put Nylander on top line.
But Dana, if you put Nylander on the top line, Tavares can't drive a line by himself anymore. That second line's going to be dreadful. What I would do with that instead is 20 seconds left in a period. The other team has just iced it. I'm putting Nylander, Matthews, and Knies on a loaded line.
Well, that's obvious. But
I don't want it all the time. I don't want it all the time because
we all can figure that out.
Mind you, maybe Domi's a third line. We don't know. Maybe Bobby McMahon goes back to playing with Tavares and Nylander. They had a lot of success.
I like Bobby McMahon.
No, hold on, guys, before y'all.
As a contract year, Bobby McMahon. I like him.
And then you go Domi, Nicholas Waugh, and
I forgot about Waugh.
Either Robertson or Lorentz or Yarncroke or Travis Boyd or not the whole other conversation. He's bottom six forward. So who's the odd man out?
Well,
that's what we'll find off the trade deadline, right? I mean,
we might find out before trade deadline.
I meant to say we season camp.
Speaking that, I did see a tweet that said from one of the Leafs Twitter people. They said they would be surprised if Nick Robertson was a Leaf past November.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he did look good in preseason today.
Well, apparently, I don't know. Apparently, there's some bad juju there.
Well, let's be honest, Lane. You're not a fan of Bobby McMahon for whatever reason.
I wasn't a fan. I think he's
well, the way your face looked like that, So Bobby McMahon, I would say Bobby McMahon right now gets the second left winger. And let's say he struggles, he might move Nick Robertson up for you. Put Nick, I think, with Marner being gone, someone's got to step up. And to me, it's not a new addition. It's not that Maselli you got. Maselli is cute, gets 30 points. Yeah. But I think for someone to step up, I think it's got to be Robertson or McMahon. I think those are the two guys that have to step up. And I think they're going to get the power play time. I look at it, okay, you load up the top line. You put Tavares, Domi, and McMahon on the second line. Then I would put like Robertson, Roy, and that Maselli dude.
No.
And then you got Joshua, Lorentz, and Youngclaw on your fourth line. I think.
What about Lawton? What about Scott?
I forgot about Dakota Joshua.
I
forgot about Dakota Joshua. So no, Dakota Joshua goes on my checking line.
Yeah,
Domi.
Domi, Lawton, and Joshua.
And then you bring back the fourth line of Lorentz, Yarncroke, and Lawton. That's why I'm saying I think I think Nick Robertson could be the odd man out.
But then you look at me preseason today, if he has that good shot, you need a good offensive guy to replace Marner. I'm not saying Nick Robertson's going to come in and get 100 points.
My problem, Dan, I hate to say it. I think Nick Robertson's talented, but he can't skate. The guy can't skate. He skates who skates like this?
Look, I'm going to say it too. You trade Nick Robertson to refuel your prospect pool. Nick Robertson has not worked in Toronto. I think Nick Robertson, I'll compare it to Trey Ford in Edmonton. I think another opportunity could be a 20 to 25.
I don't know what happened here in summertime during the island. Maybe we all got too much sunburn during the NHL offseason. But we all literally switched positions. I hated Nick Robertson last year. Here I am being a nice guy, giving him a second chance. You two want to ship him out before the year even started.
Look, I think Nick Robertson and David Kemp are both going to be gone by November.
Because you know what?
I think Jan Cole could be in that conversation too.
No, I'd actually would keep Jan Croak.
You know what I don't like? You know what I don't?
Army knife, and Craig Berube loves him.
You know why I don't like Nick Robertson, honestly? Because he sounds like I'm Marner 2.0. This guy literally goes and cries himself to sleep like, they don't give me opportunities.
I know, yeah, that's true too.
They don't care about me. And then the coach was like, "Yo, I'll give you the top line, but you gotta earn it." And then he just doesn't. Then he doesn't want to step up, and then he goes and cries to the media about not getting up. I'm like,
you know what Nick Robertson's going to hear by November?
And do what I have a gas to ask because we've gone so long without one.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want to cry about opportunity, you get the opportunity. You got to excel it. You can't just sit back. You got to, like you said, you got to grab the bull by the horn, and Nick Robertson never has. But
instead of grabbing the bull by the horn, Dan wants to grab the donkey by the butt.
I'm glad
Dan, as a millennial, I could say this. You look millennial offended when I made that joke.
Well, I'm going to say I would grab it by the tail. Not the butt. I don't want poop on my hand.
Anyway.
I'm not encouraging animal abuse here on the island. Please not grab any animal by the tail.
Donkey by the butt. It could be someone you don't like.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, we're talking about all these new additions the Leafs have made, and that's awesome. But there's one key player we completely forgot about. Gasso asked, will Easton Cowan make the Maple Leafs this year?
Ass. He's going to be a Marlies this year. I think there are too many players. The only way Easton Cowan makes it is if he goes on a tear this preseason.
Which is possible.
Then maybe I only think he got Easton Cowan up if you feel he can play top 6.
I don't know. He couldn't even play in the Prospect B tier game. He looked awful.
Yeah.
He had a nice assist on one of the Robertson goals in Ottawa, but no, I'm going to say ass. I think Cowan needs the year in the AHL just to get that much better.
Does he play in the AHL?
Quarterbacks, I would like to see more players get a year in the minors first.
Does he play in the AHL? Or does he play in the OHL again?
The AHL, he's overaged.
Oh. Well, then I think maybe the Marlies will play a couple of tickets.
Or does he sign an NCAA contract?
Right, which he could.
He could go to the NCAA for a year or two, develop that. Look how good Matthews Knies came straight out of college.
Tyler Bozak.
Lane Hudson, who was the second nicest Lane. Lane Dashing Dash goes much nicer than Lane Hudson.
And then you look at Quiston Haynes, and you say, who the heck is Quiston Haynes? He's another player at Burke signed with Tyler Bozak at NCAA, and he maybe played 20 NHL games.
Yes, Lane. Pinky's up. Very professional.
I don't know if we're done, but I have another gas house.
Ooh.
Lane wants to see the butt of the donkey.
Maybe not Easton Cowan, but does Ben Danforth maybe crack the roster? You know, they can always use an extra defenseman. They sometimes struggle having a 7th or 8th defenseman with Simone Benoit and some of these other guys. Maybe Ben Danforth makes a crack at the roster as a 7th defenseman.
I'm going to say ass. Interesting point. But the reason why I say ass because you forgot a gentleman named Philip Myers. Philip Myers, I think, could have been a 6th defenseman on most NHL teams. I think he played very well. And, I think he's your 7th guy.
What do you think, Jacob? You think we could see Ben Danforth or not?
I think if it was going to be a surprise guy, more likely be Caleb Weber.
Oh yeah, 6'7". That guy's huge. We saw him play in the Marlies.
Rapta, who had the really nice hit and fight in Ottawa.
Yep, Mr. Dasco.
Actually, another guy we didn't talk about either is Prezetta. He could be a guy that might be on your 4th line. That's a problem that not the Argos, not the Jays, the Leafs have so many bottom 6 guys. I think that's why a Nick Robertson might be on the move because I can trade Nick Robertson and potentially get a half decent prospect, maybe a second or third round draft pick, just to try to restock the Marlies. Because let's be honest, they lost a lot of good players between trade deadline and just in the offseason. Like Alexander Steve's gone, Fraser Minton is gone, I'm gone. Marlies can't sign me. I'm too old. I know, Lane.
Mr. Dasco, with Decent Cowan being Amari and Ovi's good players, didn't even talk about, I was saying, Nylander, for example. Marlies actually have a good team, and tickets are like $15, bud. You should come with us. Hop on the Go Train, go Coca-Cola Coliseum.
I love the Marlies.
We wanted to do a couple Marley games that are great.
You can get to do Dan's favorite hobby, which is taking his friends to long walks along the water.
Well, I don't want to go for a long walk.
Why
Sorry,
not?
Dan.
I'm not
go
a
for a long walk in the water, get ice cream and watch the sunset on the beach.
And then go out for dinner with the other person's mother.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
I'm just kidding. Dan knows I love to play around. It's fine. But look, at the end of the day, the Leafs have a lot of decisions to make. I still think Anthony Stolar is at the top of your list to get that deal done. I've seen comparing him to around 5/5 is what I'm hearing.
That's fair.
I think long term, no more than 6. Short term, maybe you can get him to sign a less money deal. Short term, maybe a 2/4. I mean, 4/2, I should say.
I remember you guys were saying pay him 8. I was like, no way.
Yeah,
if we can get him for $2 million, I'd be absolutely thrilled. But that's not
he's getting 2.5 now. I think he's taking a pay cut.
Who knows? Maybe Joseph Woll end up being an odd man out down the road in Toronto. We don't know yet. I don't think so, but
they're getting rid of the one Mr. Wonderwall.
I don't like Joseph Woll that much. I don't
know why. He's a fantastic goalie.
He's a mediocre backup at best. I mean, look at him in playoffs. He was terrible.
He also had a shutout in the playoffs. Okay, I will put it this way: Edmonton would have been thrilled to have a guy like Joseph Woll at times. All you want. They went to the Cup Finals. Look at Carolina. They made it to the conference final with Frederik Andersen. You can make it far with just decent goaltending. You don't always need super. I mean, now Florida. Look at Florida with Bobrovsky.
Yeah, it kind of helps.
And I know we're going to go over this, but you got to remember, Dan. You can say Joseph Woll didn't play good. That team didn't give 2 rat butts.
Yeah, but
for sure.
But
I do think this Leaf team has a different swagger to them this year without Fitz Marner, with John Tavares taking a massive pay cut. That's a real captain leadership role.
They're saying Matthews Knies probably could have got more in the open market as well. In the
I know, 100% he could have. And Matthews Knies is prime example. Right? He took the leadership of John Tavares. Pretty much all the players that we signed in the offseason could have got more money elsewhere, but they all took the leadership.
Did you know William Nylander does not plan his outfits? He just grabs whatever's clean.
Well, if he's that good looking, he wouldn't have to plan them, right?
Well, he doesn't want to put on something too nice when he goes on the Toronto subway.
Oh, yeah, he does. He's always dressed up nice.
Security to get on the subway.
Yeah,
I'm dressed nice on the subway.
By the way, if you ever see William Nylander on the subway, you better make a video with him.
Oh, 100% I will.
But I think it's time now we switch gears and head over to the Diamond. Lane's in his race car.
When the emergency brakes on.
Okay, so the Blue Jays did at least get 1 win out of 3. I mean,
I said there'd be no blooms.
Okay, so yeah, okay.
And at least the bats woke up. But I mean, I do want to talk about the Varsho non-catch. That's a catch, right?
Gas
that's
or
a
ass.
catch.
Yeah, gas or ass. Gotta say it, like the MLB is trying to rig it. The MLB exposed themselves today with that missed call. I'm sorry, it looked a lot. How can you not watch that and not think it's rigged? I don't know how you can't. It looked rigged to me.
I gotta be 100% honest. I did not see the catch.
Well, guess what, Dan? The people watching on YouTube, they're gonna get to see what we're talking about.
This is the worst thing
I do love Varsho, though.
He caught this ball 1,000. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, I believe you probably did.
So here we go.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Whoa.
That wasn't a catch.
Why?
They're saying he trapped it on the ground, but he did not.
You can see it. Watch.
They call
Pause.
that no
Yeah,
catch.
that's a catch.
That's a
it's not.
catch.
What a catch!
You
Holy
remember too,
cow.
that turned into 2 more runs on Yuskevich, who actually I think had a pretty good start for his second career MLB start.
He got in some trouble there, but he got out of it. But yeah,
I thought overall he played well.
Yeah,
Again,
for
for a kid. But what I'm getting at is they call that no catch. I'm sorry, but I think they need to go back to school and learn how to play catch. Maybe I think they needed to take more than 10 seconds to look at it to try to figure out if that's a catch or not, because that's absolutely ridiculous. Even though I knew it was a catch the very second I saw it. See how long 10 seconds actually is, by the way? It's a long time.
Here's okay. What is
mindset.
it? They just want the race to be tighter with New York. Like it looks weird. Seems weird that's from New York. I don't know how you watch that and not think something funny. There's not some funny business going on.
I mean, at least the Jays got it done. But
imagine if they lost because of that.
And the Jays did clinch a playoff spot, but as much as
Yeah, what a
always say this,
celebration
though.
that was.
a broken clock is right twice a day, okay? And I 1000% agree with Luke Wilson on his take on the Jays celebration. What are you celebrating? You haven't.
I actually do agree with that.
Don't pull it. No offense, sorry, Lane. Don't pull a Hamilton Tiger Cat and act like the job's done when the job isn't finished.
Now,
and yeah, you clinched a playoff spot. Okay, you had a 97% chance of making the playoffs for the last 3 weeks. Good job.
okay, so
You need to clinch the division. That's when you celebrate.
So there's two thoughts, right? There's two thoughts. I'm with you guys. I don't get this at all, but it's not like they're the only team that does this. Every team when
we don't do it in baseball. Yeah,
that's stupid.
The second they clinch the playoffs, the game they clinch, they go party and drink champagne and pour champagne on each other. I personally don't understand. I guess that's just a baseball ritual. I'm with you because if you sit there and you go up there and play and you go blow the first game against Boston at home and then you're down to one game and then you blow it, I'm going to be like, bro.
And again, too, look, I don't think this Jays team should be celebrating when the last few years have been failures. Yes, it's impressive from last year to this year, but I don't care about last year now. I care about you winning the division. You have injured pitchers. You need the bye.
Yeah.
I think it's okay if you raise your glass, which I've just been drinking mango juice, and cheers. But I don't think you should be partying like you just won the World Series.
I gotta say, whatever it's worth, my mama, a viewer of the program and Streakers app and everything, she was not impressed at all. She's like, what a waste of money. She's like, and you gotta think about, imagine how much money we spent on alcohol. Imagine they said to a team, hey, spending 10, 20 grand on alcohol, we're going to pitch that together and help a charity. That would be a great move. That would blow up social media.
They could also give the money to me.
Yeah, sure, 100%. Give it to the island.
No, just me. But I kid. But either way, the Jays have clinched a playoff spot. Now, though, as Kobe Bryant's classic take is, job's not finished.
That's right.
Job's not finished.
Kawhi Leonard.
That's the attitude I want to see from the Blue Jays.
Look at Kawhi Leonard. He was a Raptor, right?
Okay, well, yeah. Well, Kawhi Leonard literally wanted to own the Leafs to stay a Raptor.
I know, but he didn't celebrate anything.
But I think now it's time to grab our cell phones. Lane, where's your cell phone? Dan, where's your cell phone? I like the Argo background. Lane, we need to get you an Argo background on your phone, but then you go to Tiger Cat jail. And let's take a look at who's going to win this series in the Streakers app. We have our cell phones ready. We had the audio that scared Lane, but that's okay. I'm sorry, Lane. And we are going to go, remember, the MLB, the CFL, the NHL, the NFL, all in the Streakers app, plus a lot of your minor league sports like the OJHL and so on and so forth. OHL's in there too, which OHL season's kicked off. So a lot of news going on there, but let's jump right into the app. And again, we're going to do this by the series instead of just one game. Look, I got some feedback back with some of our reviewers, and people said they actually prefer this. So we listen to the public. So who's winning the series, Lane? Jays or the Red Sox?
I'm gonna say Jays, but I'm definitely a little scared. That's for sure. But I'll say Jays.
That's inner Lane. Dan, what I'm assuming you're taking Jays because you probably still think they're going to get 98 wins. You know they mathematically can't.
I was going to say, you guys will make fun of me now. They got 90 wins, but it's mathematically impossible to get 98. But I will say, I do think my mom and Lane and Jacob all have a point that they did over-celebrate the victory with clinching a playoff spot. So I think due to hungover and not enough dehydration, I think we're going to lose the first game in the series.
No, but are they going to win the series?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. I also think they're going to win the series, and I think this series will kind of hopefully put this race to bed.
Yes,
But Dan, Mr. Moore, for your money, has made the props.
I have.
And I'm looking for a funny one.
If they're not crazy this time, you don't let me make the football ones anymore.
Well, the Jays, you could do whatever you want. If you want to make crazy Jays ones, you can go right ahead.
I want to make crazy football ones.
Maybe I'll let you next time. We'll see. But okay. Will a starting pitcher make at least 85 pitches, Lane? Dan, are you saying just for the Jays or for both teams?
No, for both teams.
So you think at least one pitcher will throw 85 pitches, Lane, over the series?
Oh, over the series? Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to say no.
Oh.
I think this close to the playoffs, I think teams are going to try to keep their starters under 75 pitches.
Good luck.
Will the Jays make 60 strikes over 3 games?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Lane, answer it.
How many strikes are in a game typically?
Dan, do you mean strikeouts?
60 strikeouts. Wow.
That's what you mean?
No, I think you mean like literally strikes.
60 strikes.
Oh,
there's 3 strikes and a strikeout, right?
So that would be like 10 strikeouts? No. In the whole series? Or in one game? Definitely not one game.
The whole series.
No, I still don't think that even close.
Oh, you want a crazy one? I got you crazy one in there.
Okay, here's a normal.
I gotta look this up now.
Will the Jays have 3+ double plays in the series? And I'm going to say yes. I think that's very doable.
Ooh, interesting.
Lane, what do you think?
What was the question? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
3 double plays over the series by the Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
What do you think, Dan?
Yeah.
And do you think the Jays in at least one of the games can score 5 runs before the 7th inning? I'm going to say yes.
Yes.
I think the bats have woken up a bit.
Mr. Dasco.
What's up? Sorry,
he's looking to see if your 60 strikes is.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I did a little bit of research here. I'm sorry. What was the question? Sorry.
Will the Jays score at least 5 runs before the 7th inning in one of the games?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, for sure.
You should.
I got to do some research. I want to see that. I want to see like how many strikes you can get in a game. Trying to find that answer.
Oh, quick announcement while we're looking that up. In the CFL here, Nathan Rourke has now had the most passing yards by a Canadian in a single season in CFL history.
That's impressive.
Passing Russ Jackson. We got to give a shout out to Nathan Rourke to that. And he still has 4 games left. I mean, I think Nathan Rourke's a front runner for the MOP now.
And where's going to be in the playoffs? Probably nowhere.
We're not talking playoffs yet.
I am.
Well, that's dumb.
I don't care. It's like the Maple Leafs. I don't care if Captain Underpants gets 70 goals and get booed out the first round.
And as a reminder to our viewers, the Leafs do have their first home preseason game of the year on Tuesday. If you want to go and mortgage your house, you can go ahead because actually the tickets are more expensive than I thought they'd be. Like, Dan, how much would you pay to go to a Leafs preseason game standing room?
Depends how much money I had. If I had the money, I would pay up. I don't care.
No, but I'm saying for an average person, what do you think they would pay?
Well, I have less money than an average person.
The average college student.
Well, I don't know. College student, probably $40.
Okay, you know what? If you want to sit in section 120, it's only $940.
What?
Cheapest seat right now is in 321, row 14, slightly obstructed view at $60, which isn't bad actually.
You said $940 for a preseason game?
That's a very good seat, mind you.
But
Like
still.
that. This is on StubHub.
Wow.
Like that's like. Here's the seat. That's a pretty damn good seat. But I still think that's a bit overpriced. Lane, how much would you pay for this seat in the preseason? Section 120, row 1, lower level.
If I had money, $120, $200.
Would you like to pay $940
No.
for a preseason game?
That's a lot of commitments.
Now there are some cheaper options, like $59 and $60 for some higher seats. But again, the Leaf tickets have gone up quite a bit this year. But on that bombshell, I think it's time we wrap up the show for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go, Dan needs to tell us his island mindset. So Dan, I'm going to give you a perfect sound effect.
You gotta put even though I'll be talking, the camera's gotta go on Jacob. Oh.
We do have an update. In today's game, so Dan might not be crazy because today the Jays threw 69, 75, 83 strikes in just today's game. So they're definitely going to get 60 strikes.
Hey?
There's 85 strikes in today's game.
Hey?
That's a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, when you think about it, like you have 9 outs in an inning of 9 innings. That's 27 outs.
The Royals threw 65, 74, 83.
I was going to say the game, but the way you two were reacting, I thought I was on.
The Royals threw 93 strikes today.
But we'll say, and I thought you meant 60 strikeouts.
No, that's too much.
So 60 strikes in a game, yeah, that's doable.
Yeah.
But Dan, it is time for you to wrap up the show with the island mindset.
No. Well, I said the camera's got to go on Jacob for this one. But I will be talking when the camera's on Jacob. So put the camera on Jacob, full screen. Come on, do it.
Dan, just talk.
Oh. Okay.
Dan, say your mindset.
Okay, sorry. What I was trying to say is that it was the Argos Indigenous game, which was a great celebration. We saw a great halftime show. We saw amazing Indigenous dancers, and with some really cool Indigenous Argos swag for sale on the website right now. So even if you didn't make it to the game, you can buy the swag on the website that Jacob's wearing of this cool Argos jersey, an awesome Argos hat, and 20% of the proceeds goes to Indigenous charity. So that's why I wanted to use Jacob as a model, but you got pretty mad at me about that.
You know what, Dan? I modeled myself at the end. But thank you very much for watching the Streakers Island podcast.
It's for a great charity.
Make sure you follow us on all the social medias and make sure you download the Streakers app. So thank you very much for watching. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. More for Your Money.
Woo!
And Lane Dashing Dashco. See you later.
Bye-bye.